Hey everyone, Willie Wanders here. Today we're at the amazing Center for Colorado Women's History. This place exists in a home from 1838. This is a super historic site. This place, we're gonna learn all about the women's history of the women who lived here. Guys, that's some super fascinating stuff. And I'm here with my friend Petey, and I think he's pretty excited about what we're gonna see today. Hey Petey, what do you think we're gonna find on the inside?
I don't know, but I'm super excited to learn about the women's history of Colorado.
Me too, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Why do you say we go inside and check it all out?
Willie wanders, here we go, learning things we didn't know. With PT by his side, let's take a fun-filled ride. Willie wanders, come along, join the adventure, sing the song. History is science all around, in Willie's world fun's always found.
Wow guys, it looks like we made it inside the amazing Colorado Center for Women's History. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Willie.
Kat, welcome.
Kat, nice to meet you. What can you tell me about the museum that we're standing in right now?
So this house originally belonged to two families who are well known in Denver history. So the house contains a lot of their belongings or things that they used over 100 years ago.
Wow.
So we focus on women's history, and what that means for us is that we focus on the women who lived here. We're doing some pretty cool things for Colorado communities. So we'll see clothing and other belongings that represent how women have lived throughout time here.
Yeah, that seems like some super interesting and important work. Well, I'm getting excited right now. What do you say we go and we can check it all out?
Let's go check it out.
Let's go.
Come on. So we're gonna start in our historic kitchen. Let's see if we notice anything that is different or similar to a kitchen in our lives.
Okay, yeah. Well, first off, this looks not like my kitchen at home. That stove looks a little bit more old-timey than I would like to use. And then there's some also old cookbooks, maybe some, whoa, is this some sort of pasta maker or something?
That's very close. This is a meat grinder. You might use it to make meatballs.
Okay, yeah, or sausage maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, it looks like there's a ton of old stuff in here right now. Is this what some of the stuff in a kitchen would have looked like back when this house was created?
These are some of the tools that the woman who worked here for 40 years would have been using every day.
Really?
So she was using things like this coffee grinder. Now this is cool. Do you have anyone in your life who grinds coffee very loudly in the morning?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So this is gonna make a noise. It's gonna be a squeaky noise.
Okay.
There are gears inside here.
Yeah.
And when you put a coffee bean in here and turn this, here comes our noise.
Ooh, yeah, squeaky noise.
Squeaky, but it's gonna grind up those coffee grounds.
Oh, the coffee grounds. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so if you guys have ever seen maybe your parents or an older sibling make coffee in your house, a lot of times they might use an electric coffee grinder, but before they might have had that technology, this is probably what they would have used.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
So would you like to open these two doors?
I would love to.
You hold the handle, pull down, and then towards you.
Oh, okay.
Great.
Oh, it's a refrigerator.
Yeah. How did you know that?
There's all these sorts of food on the inside. I see some eggs, some vegetables on the bottom, and also this sort of white wall reminds me a lot of my refrigerator at home.
Great observation.
It looks like that on the other side. Would that have been a freezer or something like that?
So this is an ice block. The ice block would have kept the food cold.
Oh.
It isn't the technology yet where it could have frozen anything.
Yeah.
But it would be enough to keep things cold for 1 to 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Would they have put maybe like something on it to keep the ice cold? Something like salt or something like that?
So when ices were stored in ice houses, which were all around downtown before they were delivered, they were salted or covered in hay and stored in colder giant freezer blocks. So this is our ironing board. The laundress would use a tool like this heavy iron. Now this is being heated on the stove, and this part detaches. So
Really?
yeah. So when you were ready to get a new iron,
Oh, you could just get a new iron part.
you just take the top off, pick up your new iron.
That actually makes a lot of sense why this thing is called the iron in the first place. Yeah, I bet before they could have heated it up with steam or something like that, they had to actually physically heat up the iron on the stove. And then you can use it on your clothes to maybe iron them out a little bit.
Yeah, you want to give that an iron?
I would love to. Now, I have a question before I use it though. You don't typically see an ironing board in the kitchen. Is this where it would have existed back then too?
That's a great observation. You don't see an ironing board in the kitchen. We have it here because in this space we like to talk about different jobs available for women, but traditionally it would have been in another room.
Maybe we could check out more of the kitchen and more of the house that we're in right now. What do you say?
Let's go.
Wow, this looks like a pretty cool building right here. Little room.
This is a pretty interesting space. So this is the dining room.
Okay, this is something that's pretty cool to look at. You mentioned that this is some sort of art exhibit, is that right? We can see some pretty cool china that's painted a little bit blue. We can see some more dishware over on that dresser. And not to mention a bunch of cool glassware and chandelier that exists here in this room right now. This is a super pretty room. Is this what it would have looked like back when this place was actually having people live in it?
Yeah, what it looked like when people were eating here.
Wow, that is super interesting stuff. I think it's telephones, right?
Telephones, yeah.
Wow, I think I've seen a piece of technology like this before. Before you were able to just take your smartphone out of your pocket and dial up whoever you wanted, I'm pretty sure the two specific phone lines had to be connected manually by somebody else. And that was their job, is that right?
That's correct.
Hey, are you enjoying this video? Well, we have a lot more of these with no ads on getgoalie.com. That's also where we sell the coolest kids tablet. Check us out at getgoalie.com, and there's no ads.
So this is a temporary exhibit, which means it's not going to stay here forever, but it gives us an opportunity to show some belongings or items that women were wearing 100 years ago.
Now, what exactly is this room that we're standing in?
So this is called a parlor. We might think of it as being similar to a living room today.
What are some cool pieces of history that we can look at here in this?
So I really love what's on this table here. Do you see the thing that looks like it has glasses on the top of it?
Oh, I do.
You can pick that up.
I think I've seen one of these before. So guys, if you come a little bit closer, we can talk about how the technology of this thing works. Do you see this photo right here? This has two similar photos, except they're slightly taken from different angles, kind of like how your eyeballs work. You can tell if you close one eye, it looks like your vision is from one angle, and then if you close the other eye, you can see a similar sort of vision, but from a slightly different angle. This works the same way. If you put this up right here, you can look at it just like you might see a vision in real life. And when it comes all together, it creates a 3D image. Guys, this is some super cool technology that we're checking out right now. It kind of looks like those people actually are staying there and have a little bit of depth. This is so cool. What an interesting way to engage with pictures from the past. Wow, thanks for showing me that cool stuff. This looks like a little bit bigger version of the parlor that we just standed in before.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Call this room the music room. This is a Sonora Vitrola.
Okay.
I'm going to play it for us.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
A piece on this end that I'm going to turn, and then we'll put our needle on our record and we'll hear music.
No way. I'm getting so excited. Now, is the record a replica too?
The record is an original.
Really?
So,
wow. Oh my goodness. Guys, I feel like we were just transported back in time right now. It's like we're actually standing in the real house that this would have existed in, right in the music room, listening to some cool old-timey music. But it looks like there's even more interesting things to look around in this room right here.
the shoes they're wearing are pretty interesting. So these are the model of shoe from the 1800s.
Yeah.
But we can go upstairs next.
Yes, I would love to.
All right.
Wow. So we made it upstairs to the second floor, and it looks like we're about to enter some more bedrooms and things like that.
Let's take a look at our first bedroom down this hallway.
Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing some older things that probably would have existed in this bedroom at one time. I see this sewing machine right here behind my right. Now, is this sort of type of sewing machine one that somebody in that era would have used?
Yes.
Okay. So does it work the same way that some sort of sewing machines nowadays work?
Sort of similar.
And then there's also some sort of books that we can see right here. Is this a sort of dictionary or something like that?
So there's a dictionary and a Bible, which was common for people of faith to keep in their bedrooms at this time.
Wow, this one is much bigger. And it looks like it has two separate rooms, actually maybe even three all attached to it. But it kind of seems to me that this room would have belonged to a child or something like that. I can see a rocking horse. I can see some toys in a little case. It kind of looks like these toys right here are all from the late 1800s to the early 1900s.
So this is the room where the mom and the dad in the house, Cornelia and William, were. So over here next to me, there's a uniform by a Red Cross canteen worker.
Mm-hmm.
There's a symbol on this uniform with a red cross.
Oh, yeah. Now, what was the type of job that this person who wore this might have done? Yeah.
They also drove ambulances, they worked as nurses and doctors.
So that's sort of how maybe some of these Red Cross workers might have gotten their start?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is super cool.
In 1893, Colorado became the first state to grant women the right to vote by popular vote, nearly 30 years before the rest of the country. Just a year later, in 1894, Colorado elected 3 women to its state legislature, a first in the nation. And did you know Mary Ehrlich became the first woman to own a zoo and amusement park in 1890? Ehrlich Gardens in Denver was her creation. Colorado's women have always been trailblazers, shaping history, breaking barriers, and paving the way for others across the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah. So in this room, we have some artwork.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all Colorado women artists from this time period.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some super cool stuff. Yeah, I'm noticing a few paintings. This one looks like some flowers in a little bit of a case. And then I'm seeing some more paintings right here. This one looks like a bit of nature. Wow. This is some very beautiful artwork. Anything else that we can see here on this floor?
We're all set for this floor.
Really? Oh my gosh. Maybe we should go downstairs and talk about all the cool things that we've just seen. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Wow, guys. It looks like we made it back to the bottom floor of the Center for Colorado Women's History. Now that we're here near the front, I think it's a good time to reflect on some of the interesting things that we've learned today. We learned a lot about some of the underrepresented histories of women here in Colorado. Hey, would you say that there was anything else that we talked about today? Some of the cool values that we learned?
I think we also really touched on how important it is to learn about people of the past so that we can really make great decisions for our own communities today.
Very well said. Well, guys, this has been Willie Wanders, our friend Kat, and Petey the Penguin. And this has been the Center for Colorado Women's History. If you guys are ever in downtown Denver, you guys should totally check it out. There is a lot of cool stuff to see like we've seen today. Well, guys, I'll see you guys on our next adventure. See ya!
Did you like this video? I bet you loved it. Well, then you should like and subscribe to this channel so you can get all of our videos. Now, if you really, really love the video, check us out at getgoalie.com where you can subscribe to these with no ads. Can you believe that? No ads at all. Now, stay tuned for our next video. It's coming up right here. You can click on it.